in his opening words to this pasuk, Vayidaber Elokim el Moshe. Rashi writes, Diber ito mishpat, that the interaction that God was now having with Moshe was one of rebuke. The rebuke was al shehikshe ledaber velomar, on account of Moshe's harsh reaction, recorded at the conclusion of the previous perek, Lama harayota la'am hazeh, why have you mistreated this nation? The basis for this reading is the use of the term Vayidaber Elokim, as opposed to Vayidaber Ad Hashem. The reference to God throughout most of Sefer Shmot is the Shem Yud Kei Vav Kei. Here we have the Vayidaber Elokim, reflecting a God of judgment, a God of severity, hence the interpretation, Diber Ito Mishpat. In effect, Rashi is informing us that Pasuk 2 is to be treated as a discrete entity and linked to the final Psukim of the previous Perek, rather than the opening Pasuk leading up to the command to inform Bnei Yisrael of the impending Geula, Lachein Emor LeBnei Yisrael Ani Hashem. Accordingly, the set of 3 Pasukim, 3, 4, and 5, can be read 2 ways. The more straightforward approach is that the 3 Pasukim come as a lead-in, an introduction to Pasuk 6. The promises that Moshe was to make in the name of God, of V'hotzeti v'yitzalti v'ga'alti v'lakachti, and the Ani Hashem would be understood as code for, I can be trusted to keep my promises. The only problem with this is the inclusion in Pasuk 3 of the statement, Ushmi Hashem lo nodati lahem, which at face value has no relevance to the fact that the Geula was imminent. A second option, one proposed by Rashi, in which he maintains that Pasuk 3 and 4 provide the detail to the rebuke hinted at with the Vayidaber Elokim el Moshe. Firstly, one is that Moshe's interaction with HaKadosh Baruch Hu reached a higher level than that afforded the Avot. To the Avot, it was merely Kel Shaddai, a lower level of Kedusha. To Moshe, it was Shmi Hashem, reflecting a higher level of Shechina Kedusha than Kel Shaddai. Added to this is the fact that promises regarding giving them Eretz Canaan were made but not kept. Nevertheless, despite a lower level of revelation, despite the fact that things did not work out as promised, they did not question. Yet you, Moshe Rabbeinu, a more intimate connection notwithstanding, have questioned my actions with the words Lama harayota la'am hazeh. Which brings us back to the Rebbe's thesis that if the Ani Hashem is to function as a statement of fact that God will hold people accountable, then the placement of the Ani Hashem must follow the issue at hand, either in the form of an obligation or a set of circumstances. This requirement can only be met if, as Rashi does, by separating Pasuk 2 from Pasuk 6. The first Ani Hashem relates to Moshe and forms part of the rebuke for his statement Lama harayota liyam hazeh, with Pasuk 3, 4, and 5 providing the detail for that rebuke. The second Ani Hashem providing the detail for that rebuke. The second Ani Hashem relates to instructions that Moshe was to come to the Bnei Yisrael, informing them of the imminent Geula, and that Ani Hashem, God, could be relied upon to fulfill his promises. In the words of Rashi, Hane'eman b'havtachati. Similarly, with the Ani Hashem of Shmot 6:2, Rashi writes, Ne'eman l'shalem sachar tov, I can be relied upon to reward those, the mitalachim lefanai, that walk before me and fulfill my requests and demand. I did not send you on a purposeless mission, kiyim lekayim dvarai, but rather you were to be the tool to fulfill my commitments, my promises, shedibarti li'avot harishonim, that I had made to the 3 Avot, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. This interpretation of the Ani Hashem in Pasuk 2 is tenable only if we treat the 2 Ani Hashems as dealing with 2 different situations. The first as part of the rebuke to Moshe Rabbeinu, the second as part of the commitment to Bnei Israel with respect to their release from Eretz Mitzrayim.